A lot of people want me to take up for Cassie. A lot of people want me to take up for Diddy. I don't take up for nobody. I'm myself. So the case looks like this. Okay, I said at one point it's a domestic dispute because that's how I really feel. Right? So a lot of women are more like, oh, you should take up for Cassie. Cassie's a victim. Right? But who's not a victim? Right? Cassie participated just as much as Diddy did, Cam. No matter how that sound, they both participated in the undoing or the ondoing. Right? I feel like Diddy might have set the trend of how he visioned of what he wanted it to be. But along in the mean in between time, Cassie concurred with what Diddy vision was. So you do that long enough, you become a co-conspirator instead of a victim. And I don't feel like Cassie's a victim. I feel like she's more of a co-conspirator. And that's not me saying that she haven't witnessed the undoing of things. It's just more like if you roll long enough, you become part of what the vision was. So no matter how it sounds, I just feel like Cassie was part of whatever was going on, regardless. And if you read the manuscripts, Capone, brother, you'll realize that she was actually a part of what it was more than being a victim for what it was. So on Diddy's side, it looks more like a domestic violence. I went through sex trafficking with my past experiences. So I know that the prosecutors trump up charges, right? And they make it seem like you're doing more than what it seemed like it was. They make it look like you're a monster. They make it look like you are a trafficker. They make it seem like you're the worst person. But from what my experiences is, I know that is a lie. I know that they're just doing that to make you be stuck back there in the federal penitentiary, make the judge make it seem like you're a monster. But the real truth of it is Cassie was doing as much as Diddy was doing, no matter if Diddy created the vision or Cassie participated in the vision. Regardless of what, it happened the way it happened. So on my aspect, it's a tie. With Cassie and Diddy, it's a tie right now at this moment. I feel like they both winning and they both is losing. That's the truth of how I feel. That's facts. That's how I feel.
Okay, now even though some of the stuff was consensual, and maybe most of it was consensual, all she really has to do is say no one time.
One time.
And then that would be considered, or, other stuff that they're accusing him of.
Correct. But she didn't. And that's what I'm trying to say. She didn't say no, not one time, not no time. So how bad of or how big of a monster he is when she didn't say no at any time. That means at the end of the day, Cassie knew what she was doing. And I'm not here to shoot her down. I know Cassie personally. I seen Cassie in Vegas when she told me that this was about to occur with her husband. I don't feel like this is a sex trafficking RICO case. I feel like this is a toxic polygamy relationship type of case. And I feel like once Diddy started doing that situation with Young Miami, it started going a little, it became envious. I felt like Cassie looked at that situation and got envious and said, you know what? He's doing for her more than what he's ever done for me in 11 years. I want my get back. And I feel like that's what this is. And I'm not shooting down Cassie. You heard me? Situation, Capone. I'm just saying at the end of the day, facts are the facts. I'm from the streets. So I look at it for what it really is, not from.
Good y'all, it's OB Media. Young Chopper goes crazy, and he said that Diddy and Cassie was in a toxic relationship. She's just as guilty as Diddy for all of the freak off that they was doing. Diddy was not forcing Cassie to do this shit, but a lot of people are saying Cassie filed that lawsuit because she was jealous of Young Miami, because Diddy was giving her everything in the world. So Cassie was bitter, so she filed that lawsuit because no way you're gonna get a new chick and give her everything, give her a TV show, and I was with you for about 10 years and you did not give me shit. So Cassie had to get her lit back, man. So I believe that Cassie just was looking back her revenge, and she got it. She got $30 million. She got to write a letter to the judge to not give Diddy bail. Don't let out that monster. So it's just crazy. But it is what it is, man. You need to watch the full video. Let's get it.
Victimizing situation, manipulational situations. I look at it for actual factuals. And what it looked like is Cassie looked at the situation and said that he didn't do, for me to what he did for this girl, Young Miami. Oh, I'm getting compensated for this because I went through a lot of boat, which we all know Diddy gonna give her a lot of boat. Give me, I walked for a cheesecake. I went through a lot of boat myself. You heard me? So I know that she was like, all that, I'm getting compensated for it. That's what I think this is about. Compensational, but yet and still the feds said, even though you got compensated, we're still going to prosecute them. So we're going to subpoena you to go ahead and still get your money. We don't care about that. We still want him in jail, period. It was just his time to get prosecuted, period. That's just how I see it.
Okay, so we heard about all the drug abuse and everything, but we learned that Cassie got beat up, allegedly got beat up because she wanted to go.
No, she really got no, Cam. She did get beat up. Well, it wasn't allegedly.
Well, I was talking about one specific time. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, okay, I hear what you're saying. For sure. For going to the OVO Fest and then she still went. What do you think about when you hear something like that?
I think at the end of the day we're in, I feel like she was still gonna go to the OVO Fest because regardless of what, brother, she's still an artist. So she still want to be a part of. Now her getting abused, that was different. I feel like Diddy is in control freak, and mind you, I'm not biased. I'm speaking from a street aspect and an intellectual one as well. I try my best to put myself in both shoes. From Cassie's standpoint, you heard me? Diddy, we all know Diddy was abusing this girl. Diddy was controlling this girl. Diddy was manipulating this girl. But at the same time, she still needed the attributes that Diddy had to offer. So I feel like Cassie's an artist, regardless of what. She's a beautiful lady. She's talented, regardless of how you try to shoot her down or try to make her seem like she's not. I was there. We're the same age. Cassie's an artist, and she's a talented artist. And she actually is a hit maker with the right people like Ryan Leslie. I just feel like Cassie was still going to do the OVO Fest. It's because she's an artist. She wanted to be a part of. She wanted to see it. I feel like Diddy was controlling. And I also feel like, I'm listening.
You don't think it's kind of fair for him to not want her to go to OVO Fest with Drake? And then Drake actually had some bars that were like aimed, it sounded like at Diddy.
You want to know something, Cam?
And they got a fight over, allegedly over
this.
He did
get into a fight over it. Diddy made it seem like it was over the beat, but the real truth of it is it was over Cassie. You know what I mean? But this is the funny part about it. Before we continue, Cam, let me clear this up. Some people think I was just on making a band and that was it. No, I signed a deal after making the band. I signed $1 million deal with Bad Boy. So I seen Diddy off the cameras. Now we can proceed with that talk. I feel like, yeah, Diddy was being jealous. Of course he was being jealous. When you feel like in your mind you got one of the most beautifulest women at that era, I felt like, yeah, he was being jealous and controlling. You're right about that. I feel like Diddy was being a control freak, regardless of how that sound. I think he should have allowed her to do what she needed to do as an artist, but Diddy didn't look at Cassie as an artist. He looked at Cassie like she was mine, and whatever I do with her is what it is, period. And I think that's what the conflict was.
You also got to think, he stole her from Ryan Leslie's. So, of course, he's not going to want her around any other artist because that could happen to him.
Correct. He felt like someone can steal her from me, right? And Ryan Leslie, he actually did my first single after making the band, Drew Bad Boy South, which was Lil Daddy featuring Lil Wayne and Jody Breeze. Ryan Leslie, I feel like my opinion, Ryan Leslie had the best interest in Cassie than Diddy ever had. Ryan Leslie looked at it as a lustful way, yet as a business standpoint. Diddy looked at Cassie straight lust. So I couldn't even knock how he felt about it because Diddy didn't look at Cassie like a business. Diddy look like Cassie like I'm investing in her to be the best, to look by my side more than what Ryan Leslie did, as I want her to be great. I think Cassie made a horrible decision choosing Diddy, who lusted her fully, than Ryan Leslie, who looked at her as an artist plus lust. Just my opinion. So I can't even knock you on just how you feel about that, you know?
Hearing about everything, all this abuse, I mean, you know, I'm sure you heard things or little things there and there. Did you have any idea of the capacity of what was going on at the time?
Yeah, it's because I was around it. So, it was a double-edged sword, Cam, bruh. I knew it was either going to go one way or the other. I knew it wasn't going to be, no in between with that situation. Like I said, Diddy lusted her. So Diddy didn't care about her actual career. Diddy was just like, I'm just doing what was going to make her happy, to keep it going, to lusting her. Ryan Leslie looked at it like, I like her, she's dope, but I want to see her be great, because I feel like Ryan Leslie had the best interest for Cassie than Diddy has ever had. And that's just how I feel about that.
You had said that you think that Cassie never loved Diddy.
No, I know she didn't.
Why do you say that?
Because at the end of the day, I think Cassie had love for Ryan Leslie, courtesy of knowing herself and knowing that the best interest was someone who really had faith in her. I don't think Diddy had faith in Cassie. Cassie knew that Diddy didn't have faith in her, but yet and still, Cassie looked at Diddy like an opportunity. From my opinion, bruh, I felt like she looked at it like an opportunist situation. Cassie thought that she was smarter than the system. But you got to understand, Diddy has been in the game for more than 35 plus years. Diddy was never going to let you win over him, because Diddy has been in the game for a very long time. He's seen the uglies, the beautifuls, the good, the bad, the trauma, and the triumph. I don't feel like Cassie knew that Diddy was more advanced than what it really was, and she was never going to win dealing with Diddy more than actually dealing with Ryan Leslie. I feel like, just my opinion, it was a horrible decision to look at a situation as an opportunist than looking at Ryan Leslie like an opportunity. And that's just how I feel about that.
I seen you went to the trial.
I did. I actually got paid to go to the trial.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, I wanted to clear it up. I didn't go to the trial because I was summoned or anything. I got paid to go to the trial just to see what was going on with the situation. I went to the trial because, number one, I've been fighting Diddy for a very long time to get out of my contract. I've been dropping buku mixtapes. I've been doing whatever I've been doing on different platforms. But I actually wasn't out of the label. Janice Combs, which is his mama, you understand? She really run the ordeal. It's not really Diddy. A lot of people don't know this here, but Janice Combs, she really owns Bad Boy. It's not really Diddy. Diddy made sure that he crossed his T's and dotted his I's. So Janice Combs is the real owner. So when I went to court, I thought I was going to go face Diddy, but actually I was facing Janice Combs. I went to the trial because Diddy, he had to sign 3 paper slips to make sure that I'm out of the deal. He signed everything for my rights and gave me everything I needed besides my name, which was Young City. I'm from New Orleans. Actually, we in New Orleans right now. There's a lot of choppers here. It's Magnolia Chop. It's Chopper Style from Cross the River. And then it's me. My name on papers as an artist is Young City. So I say Chopper Young City because I always been Chopper, but my name is actually Young City on papers as an artist. Diddy had to sign 3 papers. He didn't sign those papers, and I'm almost at my end with this civil, right? But he never did that, courtesy of him going going on trial and going through this situation. So yeah, that's kind of what that is, Cam. He had to sign 3 more slips, and I'm out the building with Bad Boy, and he didn't do that, courtesy of him being on trial.
What was the most surprising thing you seen when you went there?
Looking at his sons, it really wasn't Quincy. And I'm gonna start there. Looking at Quincy looked at me just like, Quincy really brainwashed. Quincy has been around Diddy since he was a child, and Quincy is actually Albie Show's son. He looked at me and was just like, wow. Justin, that little cornball, he looked at me and was like, yeah. And then Christian, he just was there. Christian don't know no better. That's Kim's son. And he looked at me and just more like, man, right? It was actually jury duty. You right? So I watched the jury duty. I didn't actually watch the trial, but I wanted to go up there. I got paid to go up there, but I wanted to go up there myself and be like, I'm in the building, because I can't be the type of person to speak on Diddy on platforms and not be able to face him. You're here right now in New Orleans with me. I'm from uptown New Orleans, the third wall, Baron Street. Where I'm from, we can't look at you or speak on you and not face you. That'll be a coward move. Anything that I say is my truth, and it's the truth, right? So I wanted to see him and let it be known that I'm speaking on you and I'm here in the building. Not just for that of the coward move that I'm not, but actually because you need to let me go. You need to sign my name off so I can proceed with my life. So that's why I went up there. But it was pretty cool though, because I seen Cassie. She smiled and smirked at me. Diddy's sons looked at me like I was a bitch ass nigga, but I looked at them like they cornballs. His daughters was there. They innocent, so I didn't really peep that out. Really, I didn't care about looking at them. They innocent. Diddy mama looked at me like, yeah, you. So either way, it was still a good look though. It was a good look. I didn't care. I smiled. I smiled.
How far apart was Cassie and Diddy's family?
Diddy family was on the left, Cassie and them was on the right. It was like this.
Did you ever see him look?
It was like the yin and the yang.
Did you ever see him look at each other?
I seen Cassie husband and Diddy family look at each other, but Cassie looked straightforward. It was just like she was focused. I really don't feel like Cassie wanted to be there. She was pregnant. I don't think she wanted to be there. I think that the Alphabet Boys not just manipulated her, but forced her to be there. I think Cassie is just there to just get it over with. I don't really think Cassie's goal was to kick him while he was down. And that's just my opinion from what I looked at. And I'm very observant. She didn't look like she was there to destroy him. She was just like, I'm here. They made me come here. I'm just going to speak my piece and let it go. And Diddy family was on the left. Cassie was on the right.
How did Diddy look?
Diddy looked like a elder man. He looked like a older hip man. He looked like a man that he looked like a cool grandpa. He didn't look like he was out of the loop. He didn't know what he was doing. Did he look like he knew exactly where he was at, what he was doing? I could tell that posture-wise and characteristically, he kept his head up for his family. And I can't say he looked bad. Only difference is we're so used to seeing Diddy with, the waves and the dark hair. But in that trial situation, he had gray hair, and he looked like somebody cool-ass grandpa. So that's what I would say about that.
Did you and Diddy look at each other? Did he see you?
Yeah, when I came in, I low-key was low-key in the cut. I was in the back. But when he looked over to his right, well, actually, he didn't look over to his right because Diddy's family was to the left. He looked behind him, and he seen me. I guess somebody told him I was there. He looked at me and went like this. He was a face of disappointment. But the real truth of it is, I'm disappointed. It's because if it was up to Diddy, he would have dug me out like he did the Black Robs, the Maces, the Craig Macks, the Biggies, and all these people. Diddy would have dug me out if it was up to him. But courtesy of this situation, when you sign a deal with someone and then they are in this predicament, you have to release them. But yet and still, I spoke my peace and my truth on Diddy. And then he looked at me like, I can't believe you done this to me. But deep down, I can't believe Diddy done this to me. It's because when Katrina happened, you know, he told me to get on the road. More than understanding the detrimental situation of the hurricane. And not just that, when I caught a sex trafficking charge in 2022, you know, I got Drew the bad boy, and I asked them, can they help me? And they told me no. So I was okay being there because I wanted him to see me.
Man, Diddy did right by his blessing. That's why everything is come crashing down, man. He's losing a lot of money. A lot of lawsuits is being filed. Cassie was the one that break the chain. So everyone got the courage to file their own lawsuit. So a lot of people are saying that Cassie's bitter for filing a lawsuit against Diddy because she's just as guilty as Diddy. She was doing all of these freak off. She was doing all type of prostitution, and she did not got charged or nothing what happened. Cassie is not the target. Diddy is the main target, man. And when he go against that liquor company, that is where everything come crashing down. And Cassie had to go through with it. She had to file that lawsuit. She had to get the money for everything that she been going through. So understand that a lot of people are saying that Young Miami was getting everything from Diddy, and Diddy wasn't giving Cassie shit. So I could have wrong her from getting her lick back. Go and get that money and run. Get married, have kids, change your life, and Diddy is unhappy forever. This ninja ear is getting gray. This is not the Puff Daddy that we used to. He's losing a lot of money. He had to sell his house. Man, this shit is really getting out of control, man. What is gonna happen with the diddler? Because things really change, and he'll never be the same, man. And now his sugar daddy is not here no more. Clive Davis has died, so a lot of shit is going on with Diddy right now. He's going through the hardest time of his life. He's at rock bottom. So you understand why he don't want to come out, he don't want to talk about certain shit. But the shit that is going on with the diddler, it is not going to change, man. No one don't want to do business with him. No one want to associate with Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, because those heinous shit is just crazy. That type of shit can tear down your whole empire. So I understand why Jay-Z is going to say that he don't associate with Sean Combs. No one want to associate with a predator like that, who's doing all type of weird shit like that. No one is not going to want to do business with people like that, man. So understand that Diddy's reputation is tarnished. I don't know how he's going to come back from this shit. But a lot of people are saying that the black community forgive people fast. And the gay community is supporting Diddy. Because everyone know that Diddy been bisexual for a long time and don't want to come out of the closet. I don't know why he's hiding, because all of this shit is just weird to me now. Little Rod is getting sexual assault, Kirk Barrows, all of these gay activities is just getting crazy, man. And they're saying that Meek Mill and Diddy was in a relationship. They were wearing matching clothes. Meek Mill and Diddy pool. Diddy be calling him daddy. You deserve it, daddy. So he been making some crazy allegation, man. And be saying scrambling and scraping for shit. Who the hell say that shit? That shit wild to me, man. This ninja was on some different timing. He was planning to freak out the whole industry, get everyone on tape, and then blackmail them. But it's just crazy. But it is what it is, man. It's OB Media. Have a blessed day.
So I watched the Diddy documentary, unfortunately. And I think what I was left with the most is, I think it should be reiterated, how deplorable 50 Cent is, the gleefulness at which he did this to maybe attempt to absolve himself of how horrible he is and how much harm he's also caused to people. As another uber capitalist, you're aspiring to power and wealth. In the process, you are going to harm people. It's inevitable. And that's all that did. He wanted some level of power that was never going to be attained, to be like a white cis man. That was never, ever going to happen. You were never going to be able to get away with the things that white cis men get away with under white supremacy. I hear people talking about that Diddy is gay. Diddy is not gay. And I despise when people say that someone is queer or gay because they have sexually assaulted someone who is of the same gender. Sexual assault has nothing to do with desire, nothing to do with your sexuality. It has everything to do with power. It has everything to do with dominance, right? We don't know what Diddy's sexuality is, and also it's neither here nor there. Who gives a fuck? Right? You're horrible. All you've done, it seems, is abuse people so that you can move ahead, so that you can get what you want, whether it be an orgasm, a record deal, more money, to be able to have a producer, whatever it is. It was always for Diddy's benefit. It has nothing to do with sexuality. So I really need people to separate those things because they're just not connected. The other piece to this too, I think the biggest thing that I'm sitting with is just how sad it is, like that so many people knew that Diddy was causing harm to all of these people, in particular Black women. They said nothing because they too wanted to build or grow in the ranks of power and capitalism. So they were willing to stay silent about these things, even though they watched it at a party. They knew that Cassie was 19 years old, right? You knew all this stuff, but you still stayed silent. That's the thing that gags me, is the lengths that people will go to protect someone out of hopes that that will then propel them to some level of fame or power. Like, capitalism is so just insidious and gross that people will literally overlook someone being brutally harmed so that they can get theirs. That is just, that's wild to me. That's wild. Also, the lack of trigger warnings throughout this, like, it just was, this was just, you could just tell that 50 Cent did this so that he could look better, make himself appear better. He's not. He sucks. You belong under the jail with P. Diddy.